This is wild. This is crazy. Yo. What it do, y'all? Welcome to the 317 Sports Project with Penn and Pops. I'm your boy Pinsky.
I am Popski.
Papaluski.
Hey,
welcome to the 317 Sports Project with Pinsky and Papaluski. Episode 49 entitled, It's April, Fools. You know what I'm saying? It's April.
Fools.
It's April.
April Fools.
Comma.
Like the holiday.
But
is that a holiday?
Is it a holiday?
Is April Fool's Day a holiday or a statement? That's not even the right word.
I mean, it's...
Take a hit and ask yourself, is April Fool's Day a holiday? Or then what would you call it?
That's deep, cuz.
Man.
That's deep, cuz.
I'm going to take a sip of coffee.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a holiday. It's on the map. It's on my
calendar. If it's on my iPhone calendar and it's like, oh, that's April Fool's Day, it's a holiday.
It's a holiday. Every day's a holiday. It is actually April 6th, 2024, Saturday, y'all. We are recording on a Saturday morning. I know, it's crazy. Why are we doing that? Number one, because we can. I love the absolute zero pressure, zero pressure of our show.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot going on. And Tuesday we couldn't because they had a whole ass tornado, storm, something. What the hell was coming through here? They sent everybody home.
All stuff was closing. They sent me home, corporate job. Nobody was coming to work because of what was coming through. Hey, just get in the basement when you get home. It was like that.
3 hours
it was
later,
crazy.
Niggas was outside watching rainbows.
If you look at the radar, especially where I'm at, it always parts. It literally just dispersed in the middle and went around.
It was supposed to though?
Oh, absolutely. It was red dot in Dublin. It was
it's supposed to get crazy?
It was supposed to be so bad, and it literally just dispersed and went north and down Pickerington, where my colleague lives. They got hit.
Shit got shitty?
It got shitty. A lot of flooding, trees down.
For real?
Oh, absolutely.
We was outside watching rainbows.
It literally just basically central Columbus. It just went around it.
Hey man, pays to be dope, y'all. Congratulations to the 614. You were saved.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no idea. I really thought that it was a fluke because we was looking at rain and we went outside and I was
Dayton,
oh, it's a double
up
rainbow.
north.
That's so
where I'm at work in Polaris, they got some stuff up that way.
Okay.
But so I was happy I wasn't in that building. But no, it was crazy. But they also said it was supposed to be at 4. It was at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, they be lying. The weatherman or weather person, we're not sexist.
Educated guesses. That's what they get paid to do.
Hypotheses, for sure. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, we ended up in the ER again. I won't get into all of that, but my woman had a virus. Oh, they don't even tell us what kind of virus it was because they didn't know. Undisclosed. Couldn't give us a name of it.
Yeah.
They checked her for mono. They checked her for strep. They checked her for COVID. They checked her for pneumonia. And they were like, no, this is just an unspecified virus.
Cool.
Good luck. Go home. So that was Wednesday. And then it was well, when the hell are we going to record this episode?
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday. Here we are.
Saturday morning
it is. And we're kind of excited to be here. This is new. And
honestly, some shit happened that I'm happy we didn't record. I was you know what? It worked out very well.
Sports and news are always sportsing and newsing. There's always ladies hooping and there's always brothers out there doing stupid shit and getting arrested for it. So it always makes our show better.
Yep.
So this episode drops Monday or Tuesday. We'll figure it out. Probably Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
Monday.
Probably, there you go. Monday.
Yeah.
We'll put it out, which I kind of like a Monday drop.
It's not bad.
I'm not mad at a Monday drop. Everywhere that you guys podcast, subscribe, check us out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Pops told me that there's a couple of new friends at his work spot who got hip to the show. Big ups to you.
Yep.
We appreciate that. Yep. That's dope.
We got some followers, some people asking about it. You got a show? Yeah, I got a show. 3rd season, actually. So you late.
We're about to do our 50th episode is 50th our next episode.
So yeah, welcome, guys. If you're watching, I'm sure you will. If you don't, I will not talk to you at work. So let's keep it moving.
Speaking of April Fools, do you steal April Fools? When's the last time you pulled an April Fool's prank on someone?
When you're in the corporate world, it happens often depending on how cool your team is.
Oh.
So if you're very family, some jokes get done. to especially the gullible people on the floor. Everybody's got those people on the floor that'll be like, "Are you serious?" Like, no, man, I'm not. Like, you didn't hear my voice. Like, no, I didn't.
You know, it's April 1st, right?
Did you know that a meteor got sent is going to actually hit? Like, we're like, it's in danger. Where did I miss that? I'm like, bro, come on, man. You would have had all kinds of alerts with how much we get. I'm like, no, ain't no meteor hitting. like, we've got those guys on the floor.
Oh shit, man!
But I'm a very great actor, so most people will believe what I say.
It's also very, very true.
But yeah, I will do a little bit. It's always fun hearing the wife talk about being a nanny and the youngest 9 who is still really into April Fools, and it's like her favorite holiday of the year.
Snarf.
So they do like the cellophane over plastic wrap over the toilet so you can't see, you start peeing and it goes everywhere. Like that's like one of her favorite ones. So like stuff like that. Like I'm like, oh man, that's a good, like I live vicariously through them.
That's what's up.
And the wife having a young heart, I know she loves that too. Her little kid and herself, that kind of likes doing that with her. So it's like, it's fun hearing about them, but I haven't done a prank in a while, but I love pranks.
That's what's up. Yeah, I don't prank. I don't prank because I don't want to get pranked. That's why I just leave everybody.
That's a good rule. That's a good rule of thumb.
That's why I just leave everybody the hell alone. Mike checks, bro. How you is?
I'm doing okay. Again, I think even last episode we talked about everything going on then, still happening. I have a new therapist, which I'm very, very excited about, that I always talk very openly about my mental health. So
that's big.
Realizing when you're stuck in grief, and after, I think all 3 of us, when I kind of think of our 3 amigos as me, you, and Mom, we all had different people, multiple people passing that were different in our lives last year.
Facts.
So it's like, man, I haven't like fully grieved through all of these things and all of the loss that happened in 2023. And so I'm like, why haven't I been doing this? And why haven't I was like, well, I've been stuck in my grief. I haven't like purged all of these emotions yet. And so like, had our little intro meeting with my new therapist, Katie. Shout out to Katie. You're not watching the show. You don't know that I have a show, but shout out to you anyway. We had our intake meeting and came out of it going, yeah, I think we fit together. Let's move forward. And what I love is that she acknowledged, she goes, you're probably one of the more emotionally intelligent people that I work with. So you know what your emotions are. You just need somebody to help guide you through them. I was like, it's exactly what I need.
Preach.
So my next one's May 2nd. And I'm looking forward to it. So I have a life coach, I have a therapist.
Hell to the
And
hell.
I set my first doctor's appointment for a checkup April 24th in probably 10 years.
I love that. That's huge.
Boom.
That's
Mental
huge.
health, physical health, 2024. That was going to be my year that I was going to actually get my shit together.
You say that you're doing it. I love that. I too am okay. That was great to hear. That was good. I too am okay. Got a lot going on. My face is back. That's beautiful. I got a whole ass smile again. Yeah. That's nice. Eyes working. Everything is realigned. They said 4 weeks to 9 months. Took me 3 and a little bit of change. I'm not mad at that.
I'll take the under.
I'll take the under.
Absolutely.
I'll take the under. Reminder, get to the doctor if anything is messed up and take care of your body. Those 2 things will help you defy the odds is what I guess I'll say. Work is cool. Clean Kicks is kicking. Working on the truck. That's in the backyard as we speak back there. We'll work on that after we're done wrapping up the show. Excited to go out of town in May with the fam.
Oh yeah.
Excited. We got a big family trip coming up in May that I can't wait for. We're about to act a fool in Orlando in the Airbnb with like 10 deep, and some of us haven't been together in years, so that's gonna be wild. Yep. Yeah, man. Kai just moved to Philadelphia, going to visit her in a couple of weeks. Everything is good over here, bro. We're moving along. My spirits are better. I stopped taking them damn steroids, and that shit'll kill you. That shit was messing my brain all up. So we all good, man. We're getting back, y'all. We're getting back. Thank you for the love. We appreciate it. Show me some Mary.
Show me some Mary. What we got on deck today? Well, I'll tell you. Because really, that was a question for me, not for you. We got an NFL update. We got draft, free agents, rule changes that we haven't been able to talk about yet. NBA regular season's wrapping up. College hoops, shit goes way too fast.
So crazy.
We're Final Four at this point.
For sure.
Athletes in action.
Which now has a new name. We'll get to it in a little bit.
We'll talk to it in a little bit, but I didn't want to just say it yet.
That's good.
MLB, we're going to just touch on the regular season, how it started, but it's so early that I don't have a lot to say about it, but I needed to put something in that slot. So
you sure did. Do we take a break or do we talk about good, bad, and ugly real quick?
Let's do good, bad, and ugly real fast.
All right, the good, bad, and the ugly. The good. Women's basketball, especially the NBA March Madness tournament, has been super highlighted more this year than ever, and we are elated about it. Great coaches, Mulkey, Gino, Dawn Staley, etc. Top-notch athletes with super skills and a cachet to match. We'll discuss some of them in around the world, but the women's college game is in phenomenal hands. The better their game is, the more serious the WNBA will be because of the powers that be will take it more serious. More teams, more money, more investors.
Great word, cachet.
Right? Appreciate you. Top draft pick.
Black people, don't be naming your kids cachet. I know you hearing stuff, and then you're like, oh, you know what? My friend is about to have a baby, little girl, and she didn't have a name. Cachet Jenkins.
See,
don't do it.
It is not spelled Cashay. Don't start naming your daughter Cachet. Jesus, Lord have mercy. How you feeling, Cachet?
Don't do it.
Back to the WNBA. More teams, more money, more investors. So let's keep that moving. Top draft picks should not be traded a year or two later because there's no room for them on the roster. So that's what we feel about that. The bad. Speaking of women's college basketball, I hate to talk about it because I actually wrote this before what just happened the other day. I want to preface this and say I wrote this before what just happened. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
I wrote this before what happened yesterday. That wasn't yesterday. That was
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
All right. Speaking of women's college basketball, we got to talk about Haley Van Lith. Senior transfer from Louisville to LSU. She was the number one player in the transfer portal. Went to the Final Four 2 seasons ago. Won a gold medal with a 3-on-3 team. She's a proven winner. She can hoop. Averaged 19 points last year. Hasn't averaged less than 14 points since her freshman year. She averaged 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists as a transfer senior. Is she in her head? Is it the Mulkey effect? She's tough on point guards, Mulkey is, but like she's got another year of eligibility. This is all before. I just want to say I wrote this all before what happened the other day.
Question is will she transfer again? Yes.
Is that really what's in here?
You wrote, will she transfer?
That's the last question.
Again? Yes, she will.
Wow. How crazy is that,
Of course, we have no announcement of where that'll be, but she did just announce 2 days ago that she is hitting the transfer portal.
She is not WNBA ready.
She is not WNBA ready. She looked out of place in that system on that team. Never could get her groove on what she was doing. So, to me, even watching her through the tournament and the energy on the floor, she kind of looked like the outsider, and I'm not speaking of race. She looked like the outsider.
She looked like the outsider as well, though.
But even like the chemistry, she looked like the odd one out on the floor when people were talking to her after a play or this, like almost like she needed more practice with the like. It looked weird.
Sure.
Like there was definitely some moments where you're like, like
one of us is not like the other.
Correct.
For sure. Because Flage
mentally and physically,
for sure. So we'll see what happens with her. Big ups. Well, good luck, Haley. And then the ugly, real fast. But we got to hit on this, bro.
Sure.
Did you know these? Did you know anything about this?
What, the Blue Jackets?
Columbus Blue Jackets. Can we talk about them for a second?
Mm-hmm.
23 seasons in the NHL. 1 playoff series win in 2019. Never finished above third in their division. In more than half their existence, they finished closer to the bottom than in the middle of the division. Lowest winning percentage of any NHL team since they joined with the Minnesota Wild in the 2000-2001 season. I just have to say this. Shame on our city for considering moving the Columbus Crew. We need to think about moving the Blue Jackets. We are a city based on winners here, and this franchise is the epitome of losers. 1 playoff series win in 23 years. Get the hell out of here. What was that noise? What was that noise?
I heard it too.
You heard that noise?
Keep on going. I'm just going.
This team is absolutely cursed. I think that we should sell them. You good?
I don't know what the hell.
You heard that, right? I think we should sell them fools and get a WNBA team. Is that a bad idea?
No, not at all.
Sell the Columbus Blue Jackets and bring a WNBA team here. We're never going to get an NBA team. We're never going to get an NFL football team. Ever, ever, ever. We deserve a WNBA squad here.
Yeah, I like it.
As the city continues to grow.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and ugly.
Good, bad, and the ugly.
Want to take a break now?
You want to do shout-outs real quick?
I mean, you want me to give the shout-outs real quick?
Because otherwise you'd be doing it before. It's up to you.
I'll shout them out right now.
You want to shout them out real quick, and then we can go to the thingy?
The women's college basketball tournament has been absolutely fire. We want to give them some love. The game is growing again. Everyone is watching. We got to give a shout out to these phenomenal ladies, but more important, the ladies of the past who are now making the college game what it is, because none of y'all are talking about it and it bothers me. Cheryl Swoop, Cheryl Miller, Katie Smith, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Elena Della Dawn, Kelsey Plum, Dawn Staley, Teresa Weatherspoon, Brianna Stewart, Shamika Hostclaw, Sabrina, Asia Wilson. We could go on for days, but big ups to the ladies who came before what is going on now. There were 12.3 million viewers on the game the other day. That is huge, and that is only happening because of the phenomenal women that came before you. Big ups, ladies.
Love it.
We'll be back.
It was all a dream. 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 It was all a dream.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
Welcome back to the 317 Sports Project with Penn and Pops. We're about to kick off our next segment, Around the World. Did we do Around the World last time? Or did
No,
we,
that's
right?
the one where we just did college hoops.
Right?
So,
It
was tournament time.
Around the World is back, y'all.
Yes.
We're going to kick it off from the corner shot. What's popping, Pops?
so we're going to talk a little draft talk, some people rising, player movement, rule changes, that type of stuff. But corner shot, we are going to talk about draft talk first. We're going to talk Caleb Williams talk. One of the biggest headlines that came out a couple weeks ago was, well, I guess the Twitter world, the online world, was the picture of Caleb Williams with his nail polish, his pink phone case, and definitely some either pink gloss on his lips, but they were very bright. I'll say that.
Killing it.
So, of course, went crazy. Guy soft. This is what NFL looks like. You had your southern people and your northern people kind of going back and forth on what the NFL should look like and everything. So, and then he came out with his response afterwards, and it was after I wrote this, and was basically him saying, "I look like this and will still steal your girl." Love that response.
He's not wrong.
Right. Yeah. Like, it's like, yep. Like, right.
Yep. Yeah, you have it.
I put on here, are the Bears fans, think about who the Bears historically are, ready for this type of QB to be on the team?
If this is a one-off, no. If he's walking around Chicago every day like that with the purse on and the nails done and, living his life, if that is part of his scheme, they're not going to love it. With that said, if they're going 12-5, they'll learn to deal with it. But no, that's not the kind of quarterback that the Chicago Bears fan base would like to see.
And that kind of goes into my next question. With that being said, does that make his leash shorter because of personality traits?
Hell no. All they got to do is win games.
Okay.
It's like Dennis Rodman in Chicago.
Literally, that's kind of what I was picturing
For real?
together. I almost said it when we were talking about the other part. Like, it's very Dennis Rodman-y.
No.
It's like Dennis Rodman pulled the hottest people in Hollywood.
With that
while in a
said,
wedding dress.
you're absolutely right. Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan couldn't do that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So Caleb Williams is like going to be the face of the franchise. So
Correct.
Dennis Williams, a cornerback could get away with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like a DB, a
Right.
safety could get away with
Right.
that. But the face of your franchise, and he can get away with it. But there'll be some chirping.
Yeah. So
There'll be some
for
chirping.
Caleb Williams, and I feel like he's been there already. One of the other talks of him before just the nail polish part. That was the first kind of thing. Like, oh, he wears nail polish, and it's like, okay. And then it was. And I won't mention names, but there's some guys on the floor that are very raised small town that are like big chested saying he's a bitch for crying in his mom's arms after losing. And like that's not like he's a bitch. Like you're a man. You're not supposed to cry. Very overly masculine. That made me want to ask deeper questions. Really, really over masculine.
There you have it.
And I said out loud, I go, wow, that you just told me so much about your life and your childhood by just that statement alone. So like, that's the things that, like, depending on how people are raised, are going to have it. And it's out of basically, this is the first time we're doing it. I don't like differences. This is what I was raised to be. It's all of the same thing when it comes to racial profiling or anything else. It's different.
How many times do you have, since we're just going to go into it, how many times do you have a person who doesn't like, the color of your skin, but loves your quarterback for winning you football games?
Correct.
Or loves...
That happens very often.
How are you racist, but you have an NBA team you cheer for?
Right.
I don't even... That isn't like...
It doesn't make sense to me. When I think of like...
How is that even possible?
When I think of places like Boston, which have come out, right? Like have been places where players are like known like, I hate going into Boston. Not because Boston's good, but because of the fans in Boston are throwing racial slurs in the middle of the game to say that we don't like you. But like your whole team is the same color.
I'm just saying.
And it's like
Rondo, Ray Allen, KG, Paul Pierce.
But it's the same thing I felt growing up in Dublin, Ohio.
Facts, bro.
That you guys loved me on the track team, on the football team, playing basketball, how great I was at singing. And as soon as I started wanting to date your daughters, well, that's different.
We can even be friends. You can be friends with my daughter.
But no, you can't date them. Then it was racial. Yeah. It was like, well, you were cheering me on when I hit that high note. That nigga can sing. It's the same mentality that these people are having to me.
Wow.
But I just want to mention that, Caleb. Live your life, bro. Do your thing.
Live your life, bro. I love that we go there on our show. I love that we just go there.
Yeah.
We just go there. Live your life, Caleb.
Live your life.
Do you.
Let's talk about some draft stock.
Let's get it.
I picked a few players to pick out as...
Of course you picked him. Of course.
Well, yeah, that's a huge part.
Is it, or is it because he's Michigan's quarterback? I'm just kidding. Hey,
both.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about J.J. McCarthy.
Top of the list.
J.J. McCarthy's been one of the biggest talks through the combine and through his pro day, because this was initially going to be a guy that was going to probably go maybe end of second round, third round as a quarterback. He is now being talked about as being the third quarterback off the board and going in the top 10 because of who needs a quarterback. His pro day has been, after that and showing what he could do with his arm, which if you're a Michigan fan, you knew, but because at Michigan they were a run-heavy offense, he didn't really get to show off a lot of those things and be consistent with it. Has been showing off his professionalism, arm talent, accuracy. The talk is that he'll go either, as I said, the third or fourth QB. So you're looking at, the Giants and or the Patriots as the two teams that'll more than likely go after J.J. McCarthy. As far as fit goes, for him, I think as much as I would hate to see it, I'd rather him be in a culture with the Patriots than the Giants.
Who's their coach?
Who took over for Belichick?
Black dude, right?
Yeah,
right?
But he played there, right? So I'd rather see him be in that little culture, because the one thing that the Patriots do.
He said doo-doo.
Is they give some grace to a talented quarterback. They adapt their system to what the quarterback can do, unlike a lot of people.
And their new regime will definitely do that.
And they protect their quarterback better than a lot of people.
You're not lying.
They put an emphasis on that.
You're not lying.
It's how Tom Brady eased into his career and became one of the best out there. They let him just focus on short passes, just be accurate, game clock management.
Dinking and dunking.
JJ will need that to go in the office. Going to the Giants, where maybe, yes, the office or the players will give him grace, the fans will not.
He's not lying.
So going there could be a little bit harder.
New England don't really play either, though.
No.
New England don't really play fan base wise either.
But at least you're going to be in a team that'll go, hey, they're going to let me be patient with my arm.
Okay.
And obviously they're going to get rid. Did they already get rid of what's his name?
What's his name?
That's been there the last few years. Patriots quarterback out of USC.
Matt.
They're all named Matt out of USC.
I don't know.
Either way, they've been looking for a while. I can see him going to one of those two teams.
We've got to get better at people's names.
I don't do names. On a show that you should definitely know names, we don't know nobody's name.
We don't know nobody's name.
And I don't investigate them.
I don't.
Nope.
You think we would research that better?
We're going to talk about...
We don't know their names. You know
Xavier,
Matt Barkley?
No, that's not his name.
Okay.
Xavier Worthy. Pro Day. This is a guy that has set a record at 4.21.
Woo!
Second run at the combine. Has set the record for the fastest run in the combine.
That is fast.
Correct.
That is fast.
So he turned NFL scouts, and again, he's out of Texas, right? Yes. Turned NFL scouts' heads at his pro day, because it's one thing to run that fast, but can you actually be a wide receiver? Has been turning heads at pro day. Great route running, speed translated on the field, which is the biggest part of that.
Facts.
It's one thing running a straight line, but can you come off your marks and do all that stuff?
Oh my God.
Yeah, speed translated on the field. Hands were impressive. Were just a few things noted for him. Experts are thinking he has done enough to slip into the first round of the draft, where he was mid-second rounder at best.
With kickoffs back and with the ability to catch the raw, with kickoffs back, which we'll get into, and the ability to catch the rock and run impressive routes, you're going to make a roster, cuz.
Correct.
Easy.
Kenyon Mitchell, CB, off of Toledo.
Yeah.
Pro day.
He ran a good 42, if I believe.
He did. He did not work out on his pro day, but he was there to cheer on his fellow Rockets. Yeah. He did all of his work in the combine. Yeah. Ran a 4.33 in the 40.
Flying.
Experts have talked about his maturity in meetings so far and his leadership skills. Exactly what you need as a CB in the league. Also has been making a late, where to me there's a handful of decent CBs, not a long list though. So this is a guy that can really...
Current or coming out, you mean?
Coming out right now.
No, definitely
coming out this year.
No.
So I think he's making a name in where I can see him going in that second round and contributing right away. Kenyon Mitchell is going to be very, very good. Keep an eye on him as far as going to a contender. I really like his style of play, his hard hitting, and how he pushes receivers around while they're running the routes. Really, really good.
Dope.
Jalen Wright. We got Texas running back. So I have it pulled up on a link, so I didn't write it there.
I don't mind one bit of kiss. You got this.
So ran a 4.38 on his 40-year dash.
These cats are fast, bro.
So fast.
Lord have mercy.
But he set the longest broad jump of any NFL quarterback at 11 feet 2 inches.
Like standing in place?
Correct.
Off of 2 feet?
Correct.
He just swung his arms and jumped 11 feet?
Correct.
11 feet.
Correct. Is it 11? Yeah.
Do you know how far 11 feet is?
That's what it says, right?
No, I just want to. Do you know how far 11 feet is?
Yes. He became University of Tennessee, not Texas, I apologize. Tennessee's first 1,000-yard rusher since 2015.
That's a decade.
That's a long time.
That's too long.
Y'all haven't accidentally had a running back that's run that much? Yeah.
That's too long.
In the past year, which tallied 2,297 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns during his 3-year college career. Really, really good. Sadly, you don't really see running backs unless you're like a Saquon Barkley going first round anymore.
Nor do you see people broad jump in the NFL.
Correct. Yeah.
So broad jumping during the game.
Right.
Why is that a thing?
Leg power, because like if you can jump that far, that means hopefully you can run over people. I don't know how
you're not going to draft me because I can't broad jump far. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of silly to me.
Well, I think when you're hitting your holes and how you're changing directions, 11 feet you're not doing it, but how you mostly you know what I mean, you're gonna hop a little bit to like make your cuts a little faster and more precise.
I think there's a better way to figure that out, but I mean you're right.
I'm just rapping off the top of my head. I'm trying to help them out.
I'm not mad. That just seems like a stupid thing to make them do, for sure. Anyway, go ahead.
So for teams that are looking for running back, I bet he'll probably be first running back off the board, but look for him to get drafted. He's a really, really good player.
All
now
right.
Those are my 4 highlights. Player movement and free agents.
This is going to be fun.
This is fun. So some of this has been updated since I put this link in there. So hopefully it updates as it updates, but we'll see. Free agency tracker. Kirk Cousins obviously starting is now over in Atlanta. 4 years, $180 million. Chris Jones stayed put. Josh Allen stayed put. Justin Matabukuki.
Yes, he did.
He stayed put.
Yes,
Good, because
he
I can't
did.
pronounce your name.
He got a lot of money, too.
Now, this is a big one because the Texans have been doing all kinds of shit in the offseason. You've got Daniel Hunter, edge rusher, going from Minnesota to the Texans, 2 years, $49 million, $48 million guaranteed.
Done.
Huge. After a lot of Ladarius Need, which we haven't had L'Jarius Need, I'm sorry, not Ladarius. We haven't had a lot of time to talk about this one because of what's been going on. This was a Twitter war within the Colts world. It got announced that a deal was being done with the Colts taking L'Jarius Sneed.
This would have been so dope.
And that trade was being worked on.
That's why you can't believe it till it's done.
One person said it was with their sources. Another person said their sources have said they haven't even talked about it, which I don't believe. I think the discussions happened.
They definitely weren't finalized.
Correct.
It was somewhere in the middle.
Correct. So it ended up being that he did not come. And he ended up going to, where did he go instead? Titans? He went to Tennessee. He went to Tennessee instead, which is stupid. Like you're not gonna. Nothing's.
They're
gonna
the
be
bottom
happening.
of the barrel
Correct.
in the AFC South.
Yes. Where else? Brian Burns, edge rusher, went to the Giants. They need that. T. Higgins has stayed with the Bengals on a franchise tag.
A lot of people stayed put, quite truthfully.
Mike Evans, that was a big one that ended up staying put. Of course, we got to shout out Michael Pittman, stayed put. Saquon to the Eagles, we kind of touched on last episode, I think, a little bit. Maybe, I don't know that we did.
Probably not. That's a big one, though.
That's a big one. That's a
that
really,
changes
really
them
big
right
one.
now.
Texans also they just got
Yes, they did.
Stephon Diggs.
Yes, they did.
So that's the biggest one. That just got announced, which is the big thing where I was happy we didn't record because it happened the day after. So
it hurts so bad.
There was a
Their wide
tweet
receivers are so
out there, and I can't remember who it was, and it was basically giving. Why can't I ever think of people's names?
Maybe we go get Julian Blackman again.
What's Josh? What's his name?
Allen?
Allen. Thank you.
No way.
Josh Allen. Man, I'm hungover and I'm just tired. So just have some grace. Josh Allen. Basically a tweet that went out that said Josh Allen should have more credit basically than Stephon Diggs. And Stephon, literally the day before, hours before the trade was announced, just commented, "Are you sure?" And then we woke up in the morning and said he got traded.
There you go. There you go. Time will tell.
But you've got some other ones that are still out there. Stephon Gilmore is still a free agent. Gilly Locke, he's 34?
Probably.
Colts just got Julian Blackman back, which I do like. I'm not mad at that one at all. Odell Beckham Jr.
Nope.
Tyreek Hill just posted a picture of him hugging Odell and said, "Deal done." So
Is he coming to Miami?
he looks like Miami's going to be an Odell Beckham Jr. As they just extended Tagovailoa, so they just got him a big contract. Tyler Boyd with Cincinnati, that's going to be a trade to come.
Yep.
There's a few that are out there that are interested in him. Of course, Colts re-signed Grover Stewart, which I absolutely love.
Had to do it.
Steven Nelson, CB out of Texas, still unsigned. So there's still some guys that are out there.
Signed Kenny Moore again.
Re-signed Kenny Moore. We've kept a lot of the guys in-house, which is nice. I don't mind that.
No.
At all.
Do you like the Joe Flacco thing?
I don't mind it. I thought that they would have kept with the same style of quarterback as a Gardner Minshew that can use his legs a little bit, or Anthony Richardson that like you can scramble. You're a little bit faster on your legs. Flacco's a great vet though. I mean he
is.
Like I'm not mad at. I'm happy they didn't get somebody that we just don't know. like who? Yeah,
who?
Like I'm okay with Flacco. He had a great year in Cleveland last year.
You're right.
Hopefully we don't need him.
Say less. I just asked because we don't have a coach section, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. Is that it? We good? What else we got?
Have any names that you have out there? I'll say this.
No.
Texans are the team to watch right now.
Period.
Like that's just it.
Period.
Offensive line.
If Caleb Williams works out, the Bears are coming for that ass.
Offensive line is something for the Texans that got to work out because their left tackle did go somewhere else. But other than that, like if they get some depth on their offensive line, to me, AFC it's Chiefs and Texans to me.
Period. You're right.
Rule changes.
Oh, let's go.
There's been a lot of rule changes. Not a lot, but there's been some rule changes. Have you looked at these?
The kickoff I have.
The kickoff, right.
The kickoff I have.
They like really...
Yo, they're really not messing around with that kickoff rule.
The other thing too, and I was like, I put this link in there, and I don't like that, I needed layman's terms. So get this one.
Fair.
By Detroit, amends Rule 15, Section 1, Article 1.
Nope.
You lost me.
Nope, I'm done. I can't. It's
now, I do
much.
like this one. Protect a club's ability to challenge a third ruling following one successful challenge. So they keep one challenge if they get one successful.
Oh, okay. That's what that says?
Correct.
Man, that's like reading the Bible. No disrespect.
Correct.
Sorry.
So that one's good. They outlawed the drop hip tackle. That was probably one of the biggest announcements as far as rule changes go, that everybody was like, how are these people supposed to tackle anymore?
Fair.
I understand them trying to protect, but if you're having a guy in front of you,
Yep.
if you're a defensive player and you're trying to catch up to somebody and tackle them,
Yep.
how else
if you can't drop
if I can't drop my body weight to bring him down, I don't know. To me, it's a rule that keeps scoring high. Once you break away as a running back or a wide receiver, we want you to score.
Facts.
Because if you get past the defense, there's no other way to tackle.
There's literally no other way to tackle.
So a lot of this changed with the tackle on Baltimore's tight end, because that's what happened to him.
Roll up on his ankle.
That rolled up on his ankle.
Yeah. Andrews.
Yeah. So it's like that was the really kind of the hey, last straw. Let's revisit this one. That's kind of what sparked that.
Yep.
But like I said, I don't know, especially speaking as somebody that played on the defensive side of the ball, what do you want me to do?
I think that there's a difference between dropping and tackling and intentionally dropping your body weight on the back of their ankle to roll it.
True.
I just think that.
Yeah.
So it's just something to look out for.
True.
And it's the referee's job to go look at the tape and know the difference.
Yeah.
For sure.
So let's talk about the kickoff. I'll just talk about the kickoff. There's a lot of rule changes here. There's a lot of them I don't even understand.
Fair.
Because of how they're worded.
Thank you.
I will put the link in the show. So if you want to look at all of the rule changes,
feel free.
Go
by
explore
Detroit,
them.
by Pittsburgh, by Kanishiwa. Go read all of that shit.
The new kickoff.
Fire.
So players, and so they've done not XFL. Is it XFL that does it?
Now it's
the UFL.
The XFL and the USFL have merged to create the UFL.
So now the players both teams start on the same line, right? I can't remember what the yardage is.
5 yards, very, very close.
They're not allowed to move until the receiver gets the ball.
Yep.
Now, that means where kickoffs are back. They're going to actually have room to run, right?
Yep.
You're going to average 10 to 15 yards bringing it back, right? The weird things are too is that it incentivizes the kicker to actually put it in play
in the zone,
right? Because if you kick it out of the end zone, I think the
ball,
receiving team is at the 35 or 45.
The opposing
team gets it like way at 35.
No, bro, they get it on like the other team's 40.
Not their own 40.
No, they get it on the other side of the field.
Is it that far up?
I'm dead. If you kick the ball
out of the end zone,
you get the ball. I'm pretty sure they get the ball on the other side of the field.
Okay, we'll double check that because that's crazy.
I'm just saying. Because
there's one of the instances that if you get it short, they start up just a little further up their own side.
Yes.
I cannot remember that.
I can't remember which one that is.
Yeah. Either way, they wanted kickoffs to return because right now, that's one of the most waste of time things part of the game.
Isn't it if you kick it in the zone and they don't run it? If you kick it in the zone, you got to run it back.
You have to run it back because if you fair catch it when it's in the zone, you start at the 15, because it's not the 25
Hell
anymore.
no. The only way you get the ball at the 25, I think, is if it's like a touchback. I don't know.
Probably should have investigated that more.
You actually sent me the link. It's just on my phone.
Yeah.
It's on my phone.
Yep. And it's on my phone too, which we use to record the show. So, that's uncomfortable. Let me click on this really quick. Hold on. Just bear with me for a second. Here's what to know about the kick. All right. All right, here we go. Kicker will continue to kick off from the 35-yard line, but the remaining 10 members of the kicking team will line up on the receiving team's 40-yard line. At least 9 members of the return team will be between their 35 and 30 line, which is called the setup zone. And then it says, and then what?
Oh my gosh.
The ball ideally will drop between the 20 line and the goal line. This is called the landing zone.
Yes, the zone,
Right?
baby.
The ball lands in the end zone or goes out of the end zone. The resulting touchback will be spotted at the 30-yard line.
Okay.
If kicked out of bounds, the ball will be placed at the 40 on their side. It's not on the other
okay,
team's
my
side.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say, that'd be crazy.
I mean, that's still only 20 yards.
Correct.
It's still very far.
So, yes. I have a great, and actually, I might put this little picture up, this
That's
hybrid.
cute.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cute.
So basically, kick it in the zone so we can get some kickoffs.
For
If not,
sure.
you're
So that
gonna,
dude that runs a 4-2 can run some shit back.
Right.
No doubt.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, and then onside kicks.
They have to know.
Right. You have to inform them there's no more surprise onside kicks.
Which really, I guess there were. Yeah. That's true. They were.
So,
All right.
I like the change.
Okay.
I'm not mad at the change.
I'm not mad at the change.
Yeah, I think it was something for the last 2 years people have been wondering and posting pictures of what they do in the XFL to kind of go like, because right now, and again, it's like they kick it out of the back of the end zone almost every time, unless it's windy.
I almost thought, to be honest, if they kick it out of the back of the end zone, it goes through the goalpost, they should like get a point though.
Yeah, I thought that too.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like if you can do that from that deep, give that nigga a point.
Yeah, I can give you a point.
I can give you 1 point.
I can give you 1 point.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because that 1 point could really change some stuff later in the game. 17-16.
Like the other team still gets the ball,
For sure.
but we get a point.
1 point for kicking it
1
through
point.
there.
But again, you think about those points will start adding up because a lot of the kickers can do it now. So it's like you're getting higher scores.
Absolutely.
And like deciding 1 point victories could be very
If it's
exciting.
17-17, do I try to kick it through the goalpost? Or do I kick it in the zone?
Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what
like
mean?
Justin Tucker, that's like,
Because if you kick it out of the end zone, they get the ball at the 40. So if you miss it, it's a big
it's
miss.
a big difference.
But if you kick it in the zone, it's good. But if they get that 1 point, now you know what I mean?
That's kind of fire.
Feel me?
That's kind of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Wing shot.
Yes.
NBA regular season winding down. Let's look at the standings. This is East is close as shit.
Woo! They out here balling, baby.
Yeah, so we're like when we go, if we're looking at the East because we're Pacer fans.
Facts.
Basically, I'll say 4 through 8, but really 3 through 8 is pretty damn close.
Bro.
And the only reason I'm going to throw in Cleveland. So if we go 6th spot, okay, this is not having to play in the play-in tournament, okay? 3 through 6 are separated by 2.5 games.
Facts.
Okay. Right now, as it lands, Pacers would play Cleveland, which we'll discuss later. Yeah, I don't like that matchup, actually, for the Pacers.
I don't like that matchup.
But when you look at Cleveland's remaining schedule, and before that, I was like, okay, Cleveland's pretty stand pat. Okay? No.
He said, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. They play the Lakers today. They play the Clippers on Sunday. They play Memphis next Wednesday. We play them on April 12th in Cleveland. And then they finish against Charlotte.
They'll go 3-2.
3-2.
They'll go 3-2.
Right, which is like,
You end
depending
up,
on what you're
finish
doing,
49 and 34, 49 and 33. All right.
depending on what you're doing, that could change some things.
It could.
Because you've got Orlando and the Knicks are tied at like 16 games back. They have the exact same record. The Pacers are a game and a half back between those two. So Orlando plays quite a few teams. New York Knicks are one that I'm looking at. because they just announced, which I'll talk about in the key injuries, Julius Randle's not coming back for the regular season, for the playoffs. He had season-ending shoulder surgery. Knicks have got Milwaukee tomorrow.
I don't trust Milwaukee.
Chicago.
I don't trust Chicago.
Boston, Brooklyn, Chicago. So they're probably go. I'm going to say they're going to have two
or
losses.
3 wins.
I'll say 2 losses
3 and 2.
in there.
So they end up with 48.
Yeah.
I don't think much will change because I think Cleveland will win enough games to cement that. If Cleveland were to go like 1-4, 0-5, I think some shit would change.
The team that scares me the most is Miami. For the Pacers. Because
they play tomorrow, baby.
Right. We have that. That's a huge game.
That's the game.
They've only got, so their remaining schedule is us, Atlanta, Dallas, and Toronto back to back.
Dallas will get them. They'll split. They'll go 3 and 2. Dallas will split them.
Which why the Pacers' rest of the schedule is very, very important.
Very, very important. Very, very important because a 7 seed matches up with. Well, you know what? I think we could beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series.
I do too.
I really believe that.
I do too.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with the East. Let me go back a little bit because I got to pull up the Western. Same thing, right? From the top 3 teams, Minnesota, Denver tied.
Wow.
1 and 2. We just beat Oklahoma City last night. Shout out.
You're welcome.
They're 1 game back. They are 1 game behind them. So, yeah, Minnesota and Denver have 53 and 24 record. Oklahoma's got 52 and 25. Then you kind of have that middle of the road, Clippers, Dallas, and Phoenix. A couple games separating those two. And then play-in, you've got,
half a game. Half a game. So it's 3 sections for the West.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
So more so matchups are going to matter. I don't think Rockets can't slip in. I don't know why it hasn't even said they have been eliminated yet because they're 4 games back from Golden State in the last play-in spot.
They're very eliminated.
They're eliminated. So now you're going to go complete seeding at this point where the Eastern side's like, technically the Pacers could just not make it if you really look at that.
In the playoffs?
No, I guess they'll make they could fall to the 9th spot. That's the lowest spot they could fall.
They will not fall to the 9th spot.
I don't think so either.
No way.
So, really close, winding down. Do you have different picks now after, which we'll talk about injuries and anything like that? When you look at the standings, do you see any kind of different picks? And then I'll go through injuries and see if we're kind of going to come out the same.
When you see different picks, what do you mean, my dog?
Like coming out of the West, coming out of the East.
Oh, like going to the finals?
Correct.
No way. Same.
Same?
Boston is destined to make it. I don't trust anybody out of them. They might just breeze on through. And I can't see anybody beating Denver in a 7-game series.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Let's talk about key injuries. Joel Embiid just made his debut back. I wrote this right before he was about to debut. Ended up scoring 21. He did his thing, and 76ers won. They could be dangerous. They needed him to come back.
Yeah. I just don't think it's been enough time.
I don't know that it's been enough time.
Boston is Boston, bro. They're Bostoning. They've had a whole season of this. It's just not enough time.
Yeah, so where 76ers have been one of my teams to look out for the last few years, again, a key injury at the wrong time kind of derailed them.
Yes, sir.
I don't see them making it far in the playoffs this year.
Nope.
Kings, we got Malik Monk. I feel so bad for him because I really do like Malik Monk.
Ballin'.
Was definitely going to be 6th man of the year. Probably still will be.
Yep.
Has sprained his MCL and will be out 4 to 6 weeks. What does this mean for the Kings? He is averaging 15.4 points, 5 assists, 2.9 rebounds.
He does so much more.
In 72 games this season. The most reliable guy on the roster as far as playing time.
He does so much more.
Another reliable 3-point shooter shooting 35%.
Plays D. Yeah, he does so much more, for sure.
That'll really, really hurt the Kings. Without him, they've been playing well, but in a 7-game series, you need that Malik Monk
100%
to make a difference.
In every game, he'd make an impact.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns underwent successful repair of meniscus and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. He's playing good basketball while they've been gone. They were 7-3 in the last 10. Only 1 game back from first place when I wrote this. They're in first, obviously I just said tied for first still. So they're still playing really good basketball because they got fucking, what's his name on there?
AE. Ant-Man. For sure. And Mike Conley.
Correct. Estimated return date is the date of the start of the playoffs, which is April 20th.
420, baby.
420.
So that's a holiday.
Let's talk about Knicks. OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, and at the time, Julius Randle would have all been returning from injury in the next week or two. I put they would be dangerous in the playoffs. Had stayed at 7-3 without those 3 players.
Tibbs is coaching his ass off.
Correct. In the last 10 without 3 big components. Now, Julius Randle, they just announced that the rehab just wasn't cutting it on the shoulder, and he's having shoulder surgery to end his season.
Wow.
That becomes pretty big in a play, just like Malik Monk, that, not every game is he the guy. You need a Julius Randle out there.
For sure.
Now, I will say, OG, who has been just changed their defensive identity, and then having a guy like Mitchell Robinson, who's been out for a long time, coming back, those are huge additions in the playoff, and I don't think that they're down and out because of the culture that Tibbs has built there. But losing Julius Randle is kind of a deciding. If it go a 7-game series, that's one that kind of puts you over the edge. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Playoff predictions we just talked about.
Mine ain't changing.
Not unchanging. No.
For sure.
Right now, Boston's Boston.
It'd have to be big injuries for me to change my mind on that one.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah. I right now, Denver versus Boston in the playoffs.
It's inevitable.
Great. Lakers have been on fire. They're 21-9 since February, something like that. They're coming together at the right time, but the rest of the West has been winning at the same level.
They're not doing enough.
Sadly, that's what happens when you don't do enough earlier in the season and you're coming from behind. The West is stacked and no one goes more than a couple game losing streak. You're not seeing those top teams go on a 10-game losing streak or anything like that. That's just not what happens.
This is why winning the in-season tournament, giving you a guaranteed playoff spot, would be mad dope, though.
Right?
Just being honest.
Yeah.
For sure.
So they're right now, even with that record, I think they're 1 game as far as record goes behind the Pacers. They're in 9th.
They're still in 9th.
Which is crazy.
They're still in 9th.
We're in 6th in the East and have the same record, and they're in 9th. So that just tells you how great the West is.
Yeah, dog.
College hoops. What you got?
Man, brackets are busted, and I just had to be honest about this. I am so bored with the men's basketball tournament.
Really?
I'm really bored with the men's tournament. I am. This Final Four, I don't even know if I put this in here. Yeah, the Final Four, UConn, Purdue, NC State, Alabama, does not excite me one bit. Where's your excitement level?
I'm excited that I said look out for NC State.
You did say that.
A couple shows ago.
You did say that. You did say that.
That's the only thing I'm excited about. I was like, hey, I was right on one side.
Who's the superstar? Who's the, what's the storyline? What is it?
Yeah, so when you look for the tournament, you do look for that, not just the Cinderella team, but you look for the guy to show out that you'd never heard of, and that didn't really happen this year. So you're right. To me, this is a very chalk, as they say, type year when it comes to the tournament as far as UConn's in it. Okay, number 1 Purdue ended up making it. My bracket was so different because I wanted it to be different. And it ended up being the teams that everyone kind of just wrote in.
I want NC State to go win the whole thing now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just go win the whole
Please give me some parity. just give me a little parity.
Just go win the whole damn thing.
Yeah. But yeah, bracket busted. I had Milwaukee winning in my main bracket. And then I did
not have Milwaukee winning anything.
Not Milwaukee. Marquette, thank you.
From Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Right.
But and then I had UNC winning in my other bracket, and then Kentucky winning in one of my brackets.
John Calipari.
Yeah.
So I'm really bored. I hope that I'm the only one. I hope you guys are enjoying the men's tournament. I'm just not. It just wasn't dope to me. But the women's was. The women's
was dope.
The women's has been superstar athletes: Caitlin, Juju, Angel Reese, Flau'jae, Beckers, Malaysia Full Wiley, like big time matchups. Iowa, LSU, UConn, USC. The Final Four games last night, they was alright. South Kakalaki gave NC State that business. Do you want me to talk about the past two games? Like, what? You want me to cover all that?
Yeah.
Iowa versus LSU. Iowa prevails 94-87. The Caitlin Classic. She busted for 41, 7, and 12. Legendary. What else is there to say? She got mad help though. Kate Martin busted for 21. She's been having a wonderful tournament. Angel Reese had 17 and 20 on a bad leg. Flau'jae busted for 23, but you know what they needed? They needed help. They needed one more player to bust out and play, and you know who that was supposed to be? Haley Van Lith, and she did not do it. Therefore, and to be completely honest, Caitlin had no Coach Mulkey needed to switch Flau'jae onto Caitlin.
I was very surprised that did not happen.
She had no business putting her on there.
Yeah.
And then UConn USC, great game. UConn won 80-73. Paige Beckers is back, and we love to see it. She busted for 28, 10, and 6, 3 steals and 2 blocks. Just an all-around great game. I think people forgot because she's been hurt the last 2 seasons. She was the 2021 Player of the Year, and she's a bucket in her sleep.
Yeah.
She controlled the tempo. And they did a great job with Juju, who's a freshman and had a phenomenal season. It just happened to be, Ari Emma's in their day. I think that he should probably get Coach of the Year. That dude had 5 players out this season and took them to a Final Four and almost won last night.
Absolutely,
almost won last night.
Yeah.
They played 6 players, and then the Final Four game, NC State versus South Carolina. Great first half, and that second half, South Carolina came out and showed why they are 37-0 and probably on the way to walk into a national championship.
When's the last time men and women both had 2 teams in the Final Four? UConn and NC State. Wasn't NC State in the Final Four?
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time
that men and women both had 2 teams?
Men and women both had
one,
well, technically 2 this time, but like...
It's a great question.
Right?
That's a great.
I was like, UConn men and women.
I don't think it was as long as you think it was, though.
No? Okay.
I don't think it was as long as you think it was. I really don't. UConn, Iowa. Man. Classic game.
You mean USC?
No, I'm talking about we did NC State versus South Carolina last night, and that was great in the first half, and then the second half they showed why they're that. Then you move on to the other game that got played after that.
Yeah. You do move on. Yeah, you don't just stop. Part of a bracket is you move to the next team.
So I'm gonna talk about the other Final Four game real quick.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I interrupted. My bad.
It's cool. Yeah. UConn versus Iowa last night was a classic. Paige came to play, some nerves in the first quarter, you could see, but once they settled in, everything got where it was supposed to be. Big runs on both sides. UConn went up 12. They battled back. But at the end, man, all we're going to be talking about is the referees and that offensive foul that they called on Aaliyah Edwards. Down 2 points, I believe. Down 1 point, down 2 points. Taking the ball out of bounds on your side of the court with 9 seconds, and you go to take the ball out, and they call an offensive foul because maybe you were not in the perfect. It's not your job, ref. It's not your job. We should not be talking about you.
Was it an offensive foul?
I don't know that it was.
Have you watched it in slow motion?
I have it.
Because I watched it this morning. It was absolutely an offensive foul.
I don't know that you call it. Did Reggie push off for Michael Jordan to get open to shoot that 3-pointer?
Not saying he didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Again, it doesn't take away the fact that you hate that that's a call at it. But when you watch it, our boy George put it on there today and reposted it in slow motion, and I watched him tweet and said, I don't know why we're talking about it. This is an absolute option foul. She is absolutely sliding at contact, moving in front of her with leg way too wide. I'm like, that's a foul. It's an absolute offensive foul. So you hate that that's how that ends.
It's so stupid.
But if you're going to call it by the book, that's it.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I hate that. National championship, South Carolina versus Iowa. What you think, bro?
South Carolina.
I
know. South Carolina. South Carolina. Iowa is known to make spurts of mental mistakes in their passing game. Even Caitlin Clark.
And not play defense.
South Carolina is not a team that you can do that against. So they have to come in and be mentally connected during the whole game. All 4 quarters, you have to win the turnover battle. I do not know that they're going to do that against South Carolina.
Say less, and they cannot turn the ball over and let them get out and run, because if they'll go on a 15-0 run before they blink.
Yes.
So I don't disagree. You want a wing shot? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Athletes, actors, and atrocities. New name. Because athletes are doing stupid shit. Actors are doing stupid shit, and everybody else is doing stupid shit. Atrocities. Kick it off, bro.
We're gonna first of all talk about Puffy
or
Diddy
or
P Daddy
or
Diddler.
That was freestyle shit, by the way. That was freestyle shit.
I put like most coach watches.
Like most coach watches. Gotta fucking love them coach watches. Not talking
like most cockroaches. My man got raided.
Well played, bro.
Thank you.
Well played.
They talking crazy things about you.
Forced sex acts with men and women, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, civil suits being settled, plus mad payouts. This nigga stressed the fuck out. More money, more problems.
I'll tell you.
That's what they say.
Here's what I'm going to say, too. Anybody that thinks that he is the tip of the iceberg.
But like the only one?
Like he's even the guy. And when you go sex trafficking, there's a ring, right? If you think that Diddy is the head of this.
Oh, wow.
You're dumb.
Wow.
I think Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
And his people.
You're really going there.
Are scared.
You're really going there.
He is going to say other names. They have killed others recently.
You going there.
Because of this.
He took it there.
Diddy is not the final guy. He's not the final boss.
Oh, wow.
Like when you're playing Double Dragon.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna make sure we record it. You playing Double Dragon?
You know when you're playing Double Dragon and you got a boss on each level? Ooh. He's one of the early bosses.
I am warm.
He's one of the early bosses. So just so you know, he'll either say some names, settle some stuff.
Oh no.
Or
I am uncomfortable.
Diddy will be found in a deceased matter at some point.
You just said that.
Yes.
With your whole ass chest.
Yes.
Damn, we don't play on Saturdays.
No.
Okay, I don't even know how we segue. We should have finished on him.
So Malcolm Butler, former Patriots cornerback, arrested in Rhode Island for driving under the influence March 21st. Yeah. After the police asked him if he had been drinking, his response was, "Just take me to jail."
I appreciate you, cuz.
Like, hey, man, I got nothing else to say.
Take me to jail.
Take me to jail.
Straight up.
So, like, you had been, like I said,
just take me to jail.
Do with my response.
You're gonna take me anyway.
Correct.
Just take me to jail.
Jonte Porter, Toronto Raptors center, under NBA investigation into irregularities on prop betting involving him. Hasn't been formally accused as far as proof has been presented, but NBA is zeroing in on a risk that games could be fixed. They're finally looking into, or at least putting a story out in the public to say they're investigating if NBA games are fixed.
I can't even.
Take it how you want it.
Of course they're fixed.
Well, we'll put out a story
of course
saying that we're investigating it.
Of course they're fixed.
Correct.
There's way too much money in this soap opera. Go.
Now, our boy Rashee Rice.
Oh, Jesus.
They've been talking about him a lot in the last couple weeks.
They have.
Involved in a major car crash in Dallas where his registered Corvette and Lamborghini were racing. This caused a 6-vehicle accident. I think he was going like 120, something like that.
He was flying.
He was seen walking away from the accident, pulling a bag out of the car on the video. Has now been caught with 10.8 grams of weed in the left passenger side of the Lambo, which is a felony in Texas.
I'm glad I live in Ohio.
You can't be doing that in states like Texas and Florida.
You know what I always tell my daughters? Don't ever break 2 laws at the same time.
That's it.
Because they don't get you for the first one. They don't get you for the speeding.
No.
They get you for the weed in the
I'll
car.
make a deal with you. I'll drop the speeding part, but I'm going to get you for the drugs.
Getting for that felony, you're getting that felony weed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never break two laws at the same time. And I just got a question. Why aren't there ever no white people on athletes in action and atrocities? What's all these black people doing, dog?
Because we're naturally more athletic.
Facts. I'll take that answer. It's not what I thought I'd get, but I'll take it. From the corner, the Halliburton. What's going on, bro?
MLB regular season has started. I don't have a lot to say about it, but baseball is back, and now it's kind of the teams that we're expecting that would start hot. And I will kind of say a name like Braves. Braves came into the season as the best team, even at 4-2. They're looking like that still. They're dominant. They just won they're fire. So Braves are great. Orioles have an ace in Corbin Burns. This is probably their first ace they've had in a really long time. Had an amazing opening day. He's going to be fire for them all season. It's just the rest of the pitching that we'll see what will happen with the Orioles. Yankees, most impressive start so far with 3 come from behind wins in a 4-game road sweep over a major contender. Fire. Shohei Ohtani. I did not just write the 8.
Maybe
that
you
was
did.
supposed to be a link. Either way, I didn't even write anything about the Dodgers. Oh, I did put that. My trust the Dodgers. I just didn't put it right.
It's okay. They're looking dangerous.
Looking dangerous. Such a one. Lineup's crazy. You got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Oh, actually, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy. Crazy.
Put a lot of money into that.
That's a lot of money.
Put a lot of money.
Mookie's probably had the hottest start right now. Ohtani's coming right behind him with the finally hit, I think, his first 2 home runs of the season in the last couple games. But speaking of Shohei Ohtani, his translator, basically he's an investigation for gambling as well. His translator, which was assigned to him, he says he didn't have a lot of history with him, was been caught. Basically, his name was caught after they were investigating his translator on large transactions being paid. The story is Ohtani has been helping paying off his debt, which is what those large transactions are, and not for actual betting.
Yeah, that's my homie. I'm a billionaire. I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
They're still investigating.
Got to.
Hope he's not actually betting.
He's playing right now, right?
Right.
Yeah, they ain't doing nothing to him.
Nah.
That's Shohei Ohtani.
Nah.
They ain't doing nothing to him.
He just signed like a...
Show me the money is what they call that nigga. Show me the money.
And on that note,
It was all a
take a quick break.
dream. It was all a 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 dream.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
Welcome back to the 317 Sports Project presented by Clean Kicks, Columbus, Ohio's #1 premium sneakers.
Sorry, I was presenting the name because the name pops up like
Premium sneaker treatment shoe cleaning service. This dude is crazy. I was like, what's up with the spirit fingers, bro? It's not that serious. We clean kicks, we paint kicks, we do ISO restorations and a bunch of other services. Premium sneaker treatment for premium sneakerheads. Do yourselves a favor and give us a follow over at cleankicks.614 on Instagram. We just hit 1,000 followers. That's absolutely amazing. I'm so proud. Thank you, y'all. Thank you.
Huge.
Big, huge. Naptown News. Segment C. What we got cracking, bro? You want to do it? You do it.
You got it.
Okay. Indiana Pacers, 44-34. We're 20-3 in games. We score 130 plus points
That
or more.
makes sense.
That is a hell of a record.
We are still leading the league in scoring at 122 points a game.
Facts.
This is great.
4 games left in the season. Just came off that 5-game bender road trip. Went 3-2. Beat the Pistons. Beat the Warriors. Beat the Clippers. Lost to the Lakers and the Bulls. He hates playing the Bulls.
I do.
Always a tough matchup with size in the defense. Slow start against the Lakers. Had us crawling back and making it a game in the end. We just did not have enough. Lost by 5. Big win last night versus OKC. Huge game tomorrow versus Miami. We have a half game lead on them. That is the difference between 6th and 7th, which puts us in the play-in, the PIT.
We have to have a winning road record to make me feel comfortable going on the playoffs. That we are 20-19. Excuse me. I just took a bite of a croissant.
Yeah, you did.
20-19 on the road this year, which is great. It's been a while since we've had even close to a winning road record, so I like it.
Road record is hard to say.
Road record.
It's hard.
Yeah. Because you're like, are you saying record?
Home record.
Home record?
Home record?
Yeah. I've been that. I have been that before.
Definitely been that before.
So road record, love that, but we've got a couple big games on the road this coming last few games, so we got to make sure we're staying ahead of that one. Flashes in future. We have flashes in future. That's what happens.
Flashes of greatness against tough teams, but our youth comes out still when playing teams that we should beat.
Yeah, we're in that place where, and I'll be honest with you, when I wrote this, who's that guy?
I didn't know. I was confused too. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
When you wrote this.
When we wrote this, I was actually kind of seeing, you're seeing a defensive identity coming with the Pacers all of a sudden.
You're right.
In the last handful of games.
You're right.
It'll pipe in there every now and then where you're like, now the one that they just lost when Miles was out, who were we playing that they should have been? Oh, the Brooklyn Nets, the second game of the Brooklyn Nets. Miles was out, and that was probably the biggest issue there because when we had Miles in there, they can't match our size.
Facts.
So we ended up losing by like 3 or 4 points, 5 points, whatever that was. But we were in it there at the end. He had dislocated his finger, so I was like,
that looked crazy.
It looked nasty.
Yeah, you guys come out the game.
That one was kind of you should have won that one, being where Brooklyn's at. But at the same time, like that's a huge piece that you're missing on the defensive side of the ball. But when they're healthy, like this is interesting to see. Going back to the Thunder game last night where they switched up the lineup, and I actually saw Rick make an adjustment, which was very fun to see for those people that are not Rick fans out there. When Thunder went small ball, now Gilgeous Alexander did not play in this game, which is a big reason why we won. But he was gone.
You can only play who you can play. Who's on the court? That's all you can play.
You went Obi, Toppin, and Siakam as your 4 and your 5, and you started playing small ball, and that's when we started pulling away a little bit.
Yep.
And I really liked that adjustment. I think that one is the run and gun squad. If you have those two playing together, I really like that because Obi has been killing it from the 3-point line.
Facts.
I even saw him do a little mid-range pull-up jumper, and I'm like, who's this guy?
He's getting smooth with it. I like to see I think we have seen Obi's game really shine as he made this train and getting out of New York because they weren't letting him do these things. And now he's with the second unit, he's got some freedom to just kind of do his thing, cut to the basket, pass it back out, be open in the corner. And he's one of our best shooting. He's putting the work in. You can tell he's putting the work in the gym as well.
Love that right now.
For sure.
But Jarris Walker is who I really want to highlight. His minutes have gone up after Matherin's injury. He's been phenomenal. He may not come out and score 25 points, but he does so many things on the floor, and his plus-minus is always one of the best on the team.
Facts.
I think the other day he had like a plus 23 on there when he was on the floor, and he ended up having, like, again, when you look at that, you're like, ooh, what is the stat lines? It was very like Draymond Green-esque, where it was like 9 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, and was guarding the hardest guys on the floor.
You're doing enough.
Doing a glove. Love how he moves his feet on the defensive side of the ball. There was a play against the Clippers where Leonard was trying to have the screen pull TJ onto him instead of Walker. Walker did such a great job moving around that screen.
TJ. He was like, nah.
There was one point he did. He moved him out of the side and kept his eyes completely on Leonard the whole time, and how he shuffled his feet to get around that screen. And that actually...
He locked Kawhi up.
He locked him up, and it ended up being an air ball shot. And I mean, it was like one of those things where I'm like, that is the future defensive side of the ball that Jarris Walker can do as his shot keeps developing and has become a pretty consistent three-point shooter since he had time to play in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Soon to be Noblesville.
Yep.
Thank God. And
no disrespect to Fort Wayne, but I ain't ever driving that drive again.
So that is the future where I do see that lineup of Halliburton, Mathurin, Walker, Siakam, and Turner.
That's a nice lineup.
I really like that. And again, you can adjust depending on who you're playing, but like having that be your main starting lineup with that length, that athleticism, and three-point shooting, since Mathurin really switched his three-point shooting. Like all of them are shooting.
You can switch everywhere almost.
Yeah, like I really like what that looks
That's a great
like.
lineup.
With
and young.
And then still have Neesmith trying to like who's gonna which will be an interesting thing kind of going forward.
Yikes.
Because Neesmith is, everyone knows I love Neesmith. So him. Okay. Paul George. Gonna just mention it one more time because they came out with the stats of where he's gonna go.
Stop it.
Right? Because everybody in the Twitter world's talking about it.
No.
Rumors are the Clippers and George are not close to numbers when it comes to an extension. Many teams are interested, of course, with the aging star. 76ers are at plus 275. Knicks are plus 950. Kings at 950. Thunder at 1,400. Pacers at 1,400. Mavericks and the Lakers are at 1,500. I'm going to say it one more time. If he leaves, he is not coming to Indy.
Absolutely not.
He will stay on the West Coast, more than likely, because that's where he's from. He loves playing at home. I can't see him making it back to this side of the country.
No way.
Playoff prediction. We just kind of talked about it. We will play the Cavs if the season ended today. How do we feel about the matchup? How far will we get?
I think our focus should be happy that we get in the playoffs. I think that we should love that experience. I think that we should focus on trying to take it 6 or 7 games and fill in that playoff atmosphere. 10 more wins again this season.
Yeah.
That's the third year that they've had, or second, 25, 35, 45. Yep. So big ups to them on that. I think the focus is try to get a 7-game series and just kind of coin toss it, see what happens.
Yep. It's make it.
Coin toss it.
I heard it.
Coin toss it, see what happens.
Yeah. I thought you were just kind of doing a thing.
I was like, that didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right for me either. I just had to guide through it and be like,
coin toss it.
I don't know what that means, but we're gonna act like I do. I was like, yeah, coin tossing. I had no idea.
That's when you know somebody rides with you. They don't even correct you.
No, you cool.
Twin causing cuz.
I was going to look it up after the show. Like, is that an Urban Dictionary? And I don't know. Like, twin causing. What does that mean?
You bullshit, man. You be twin causing, cuz.
Like, if he said it, it's got to be true.
It's got to be true.
It's got to be true. Make it a game of possessions.
Yep.
Don't get blown out.
Yep.
Don't do that. If you can make it a game of possessions, you never know what can happen.
Absolutely.
You just can't be so far down in the possession game that you have to play catch up. I do not like that. And again, it's nice having a team that can do it. I don't like a team that thrives on coming from behind in a playoff atmosphere.
No diddy. Would you rather be a 6 seed and play the Cavs or a 7 seed and play the Bucks?
I like the Bucks matchup more. Why I like it more is because I still think that there's a mentality with the Pacers that they should beat the Cavs. They are a team that plays up to the level that they are in front of. They go into Milwaukee, now that they've created a rivalry with Milwaukee, and will always be at 100% ready to go all 4 quarters.
Fair.
That's why I like playing them.
I do not disagree. We'll see. Welcome to the playoffs, boys. You're almost there.
Here we go.
Fine print.
Random question of the day. Okay.
He said he had one.
What is the most clever way you have been called a racial slur? Now, why I say that, have you ever been called a racial slur, had racism towards you, and you're like, first of all, you're an asshole, but respect on how you actually like brought it up? Because I have an example that really, like, I saw it online and I was like, okay, that was at least
I need an example.
Okay.
Because I don't know that I've ever had a clever way to be racially profiled.
Look up for me. Pull up your thingy. Google.
Sky.
Lego piece 11031.
I'm so scared. Why is it just?
Because I
come up?
searched for it earlier.
This is my computer though.
I know, but since we have 317, we're both on Gmail, and since we have a connected thing where we both have 317 Sports. So, what is that a picture of?
Monkeys.
Okay, so a very big gaming Twitch streamer in his comments pulled up, and someone had just said, because he had gotten beat on Call of Duty, and said, Lego piece 11031.
Oh.
And I was like, I gotta look that up too. And he put a picture, he goes, those are monkeys. This nigga just called me a monkey. And I was like, okay. You're a dick, comma, but. That was very thought-provoking. And at least you did it in a clever way.
I promise I've never had that.
Okay.
I've never.
I haven't either. I just wanted to see if you had anything similar to that.
Never, but that is clever.
Like,
bars. No.
Lego piece 11031.
That is so racist.
Like, you had to have this person Google that because you knew he didn't play with Legos.
That is so racist.
Like, you knew the number of the Legos.
He did.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I'll put a picture of what those are.
He calls people that often.
Often.
You know, when you know the number.
Because I can't just like write monkey because people come after me. Most people won't put the effort into looking it up, so I'll just put Lego piece 11031.
Wow. Monkey. That's racist.
Yeah.
That's really racist. Quick hitters. Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks are 108-3 in the last 3 seasons. I'm going to say that one more time just for the people in the back.
Yeah. Dawn
Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks are 108-3 in the last 3 seasons. Final Four 4 straight times. 2017-22 national champions. She's been in her 16 seasons. She's won 30 games 7 times. She won 29 games twice. 2 losing seasons were her first 2. Is she one of, if not the greatest coach ever? And does she need to get that 3rd championship tomorrow to get that?
I think she's one of the greatest coaches ever.
Think so?
Period.
Her and the Pat Summits and the Genos.
Correct.
And the
Correct.
she's there.
It has to be.
This tomorrow doesn't matter.
At this point, everything just helps to kind of go like, there's no longer even a comparison. I don't put you next to him. The next one will be like, you are.
How does she become it? Because she's getting there.
She's getting there.
She's like, a college basketball young lady in high school wants to go to probably either UConn, LSU, or South Carolina right now.
Correct.
I mean, there's the Juju's because she's from there, blah 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 blah. But like, if you're like a big time recruit from Ohio and you're getting recruited, you want to go play in South Carolina because you're going to go to the Final Four and you're going to get rings, and exposure.
Thank you. Took it out of my mouth.
No, did he, bro?
Yeah. We don't have a lot more to talk about, right? Okay.
You gotta watch it these days, bro.
Man, a lot of stuff out there.
Yo.
We're talking about monkeys and ditties.
Maybe we're changing the show name.
Monkeys and ditties.
I think I might have to do it. I left it blank for most of the time. I think we're changing it to Monkeys and Ditties. That is hilarious. Vontae Davis. I'll let you go ahead and do this.
All right. Sadly, we all got the news that Vontae Davis was found dead in his apartment? Something. Grandma found him. 35-year-old Vontae Davis was probably one of the best corners that Indianapolis had come through in a long time. His 2012 season, was that his best one with us? Yeah. 2012 season where he came from Miami in that trade where everybody was wondering what that trade was, but he came in really, really put a stop to the receivers in AFC South that we needed to put a stop to. So rip to Vonta Davis. I feel bad for his family. He was always one of my favorite players on the Colts that came through. Also known for that funny way he retired. I thought it was still one of the best stories ever.
Right off the field.
Middle of the game. They went into halftime.
Right off the field, cuz.
He went into the middle of halftime and said, "Hey coach, I think I'm done." And he said, "For the game," he's like, "Nah. I'm gonna wrap it up for the thing. This is a young folks game. I can't do it no more."
For real.
So it retired at halftime. I think, was he on the Bills at that point?
Yeah.
But rip to Vonta Davis. You're always known as a Colt. You did such a great job here. Great heart, did well with the community.
Got me crying.
Vernon Davis, shout out to you and the family. I can't even imagine.
No, straight up.
One of the highest pitched voices, though, I'll say that.
He definitely did. Great dude, though.
Yeah.
Great show. Speaking of great show. Probably got out of here in about an hour and 15-ish. I don't even know.
25.
Great show. We back, feeling good. Our next episode is our 50th episode.
And guess what? It's an NFL draft.
Let's go! You would think that we planned that. We did not, but I know that's y'all's favorite. We know that y'all dig that, so we're gonna drop one. How deep dive Penn is Pops is gonna do? We don't know. We'll all see. But get your popcorn ready. I'll be here with a vape pen, some popcorn, and probably a cocktail.
We should have some popcorn.
We'll have some popcorn?
Let's have some popcorn. It's
All right.
50th episode.
All right.
Have some popcorn here in the middle.
We'll have some popcorn.
That sounds great.
All right, done deal. There you go. Speaking of popping, we out.
Peace.
Holla.
Cause I was like 2 years old, first time I heard a beat drop. Yeah. And by 3 years old, I'm learning how to beatbox. Yeah. 4 or 5 years old when I'm putting on the 45s. Final. Needle to the groove, I'm scratching up the sweet spots. Homie from the East Block, in Naptown where the fiends flock. Skip school all day, mama couldn't keep watch. Fresh fade with the Reeboks. Man, nah, nigga couldn't tell me nothing. I'm so sick in my own lane, preteen pimping, all the light skin, red bone loving. Boombox on with the headphones bumping, dreaming to find my niche. Cause I ain't really know back then when I picked up my first notebook and a black pen. That little nigga with a rhyme like this. I wasn't thinking to the days of a dope band, new EPs on a compact disc. Nah, shit, truth be told, I ain't know I could sound like this. For me back then, it was
all a dream. It was all a dream. It was all a dream. It was all a dream. It was all a dream. It was all a dream.
And this shit right here be the proof dreams do come true. And this shit right here be the proof dreams